Hello, this is Mr. N. I'm here talking about the MLC's Math Apps. Just wanted to give a brief overview of what some of them are like and how to use and access them. First thing you want to do is you want to pull up the Math Learning Center website at mathlearningcenter.org. That's all one word with no dashes. When you pull up that home page, you'll have several drop-down menus. You're going to want to click on Resources and go down to Math Apps. And once you get to the Math Apps homepage, you'll see all 10 of the free apps. And today we'll be going over fractions, geoboard, and money pieces. So let's look at the fractions app first. Just click on fractions. And it'll pull up that main page and give you all the information about it. There's going to be 3 options down below here. And I like just to use the Open Web app because you don't need to download anything. All you need is a good internet connection. And again, you can use these with any browser on any device, iPads, iPhones even, laptops, and if you're lucky to have a smart board, you can use it on that as well. So it pulled up the fractions app here for us in our browser. The purpose of the fractions app is to help students compare fractions using both length and area models. And you can see down below you have a circular area model, and then you have a long length fraction bar model. And all you got to do is you got to click on the plus sign there, and it'll bring up your box there, and you're going to click in how many pieces you want to divide that bar into. So I'm going to divide it into 10 pieces and then click OK. Once you have that up there, you can click on it and drag it anywhere you want. And you can also stretch it to be a bigger or however small you want. And then you got your circular area models. And it's the same concept, except it's a circle. Let's split it into 5 parts. Click OK. You can grow it bigger or smaller. And then if you want to delete a bar graph or an area circle model, you just select which one you want to delete and then go down to this trash can below, click on it, and it disappears. You can also just click on it and then hit your delete button, your backspace button, if you're on a laptop computer. And some of the other features, let's pull up another bar graph here. Let's split into 4 parts. You can also type in whatever you want there. You don't need to have any of these numbers. Let's split into 4 parts. Click OK. Make it bigger. Put it in the center there. And then with it selected, you can choose some colors to fill in some of those spaces. I got red. I'm going to fill in 3/4 with red. And then in order to get rid of your painting, your fill-in color, you just click outside of the model. See, now this is a cool feature of this app, is that now students and teachers can pull up another one that's the same size. This time I'm going to split it into 8 parts because I want to see how many eighths is equal to 3/4. I'm going to get a yellow fill-in color and start filling them in until I get to the same spot. It looks like 6/8 is equal to 3/4. Pretty cool. Now, there are other features they have is you got this kind of half circle with a 1/2 fraction in it. And what that does is it labels your models for you. So as you can see, it says 3/4 and 6/8 for you. Then the other feature it has, if you select one of your models and click this button down here, it says rotate. It does exactly that. Rotate it to be vertical or horizontal. Then you have this tool right here, which is the duplicate, and you can duplicate as many as you want of whatever one you have selected. All right, let's clear the board here. How you do that is you click here that refresh looking button, and it's asking you if you want to start over, and you say yes. It's got 2 other tools here, and these tools are on most, if not all, of the other apps. First you got your text tool, and this looks like a calculator, but it's not. All it does is it allows students or teachers to write out equations. So I got 2/3, and let's do, times 6/8 equals. And as you can see, it did not give me the answer, it just wrote it out for me. Basically, this tool is just to write out the fractions so that you can have both a visual model and then the numerical model. And you can delete that same way by clicking backspace. And the last tool we have here is the drawing tool, which basically is just like your MS Paint application. You have marker, you can do a free write, or you can do straight lines, change the color. You got your eraser, and this button right here is just clear the whole drawing. All right, so that is the Fractions app. I think that's my favorite out of all of them. Let's go do another one, the GeoBoard. And it's the same process. Click on GeoBoard, takes it to the page, click Open Web App. It opens a new tab for you every time. You already got a board up, you got your rubber bands down here. And you got several choices. You can do a square board, a rectangular board, or you can do a circular board, which is my favorite because it's really good to help teach kids time, or clock face. And then some of the features you have down here, this grid-like tool here basically just sections off all the different parts that you can make. You can do the same thing. It makes a grid with the rectangular or square one. Then you have this tool down here, which numbers, makes it into a X and Y axis for the square and the rectangle. And then, as you can see, it makes it into a clock for the circular board. Okay, now let's do the fun part here. I'm going to leave the grid on there so it's easier to kind of imagine the clock. And what students can do is grab their choice of rubber band, and then I like to start off in the center, and then you bring it up to the 12. Then you say, what's 1/4 of a clock face? You fill it all in there. That's 1/4 there, and it goes to about 3 o'clock. Now what you can do is you can select that rubber band, and there's that duplicate tool again, same symbol as with the Fractions app. You can duplicate your rubber band, rotate it, and then you basically just start filling it in. And you can get another color, and you can start doing other parts of the whole. Now this tool right here, whatever rubber band you have selected, click on that, it'll just fill it all in. Or you can unclick it and it'll unfill it. Or you can click on this tool here and it'll fill in all of your shapes that you have on the board. Cool. So that's your GeoBoard. That one can be pretty fun. You can create some pretty challenging problems for them to use on the GeoBoard app. And the last one I wanted to talk about is the money pieces right here. Let's click on it, scroll down, click on Open Web App. And this one, you got your toolbar on the bottom, and then you have a selection tool on the left-hand side here. As you can see, you've got a dollar bill, a 50-cent piece, a 25-cent piece, a 10-cent piece, 5-cent piece, and then your 1 unit or penny piece. And you can see behind them there's grids, and basically what that is, if you click on it, it'll come up and it'll show not only the image of the money piece but the grid. So there's 100 squares there for representing 100 units or pennies in $1. The same thing with 50-cent piece. And what they can do is they can see, oh look, that 50-cent piece fills in 1/2 get another one of the dollar. And you get two of them, it equals $1. Now, if you're trying to teach kids fractions, this is really useful. But if you're trying to teach them to be familiar with currency, you might not want to have the grids in the back just because you don't want them to rely on the grids in order for them to differentiate between the different money pieces. So you can take away the grids in the back by coming down here to this symbol down here and just switching. And you can switch back and forth however many times you want. Now, let's look at some of the tools. Right here is you have your exchange tool. And so you just select any one of your money pieces and click on the exchange tool, and it'll ask you, how do you want to exchange it? You want to do it in pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, half dollars, or dollars. Let's just see what pennies look like. See if it'll give us 100 pennies. And look at that. You got 100 pennies now. Now let's go back to dollar. Now I got some other tools here. Now basically this is more for the teacher if they want to set something up prior to a lesson. They can use any of these. Basically, it's just like it's a question mark. It's to cover up the money pieces. So you can have your dollar bill piece and say, how many 50-cent pieces do I need to make $1? And click show after you've talked about it, after they've given their answers. And then you can also have a hand cover up, which I don't know, it's kind of cool. Or you can have a pocket, or you can have a bank. You can say, I have this much money in the bank, so on and so forth. And you can clear the board the same way as with the fractions and geoboard. Start over. Let's bring out some money pieces. And we got the duplicate. You just select whatever money piece you want to duplicate. Do that over and over again as many times as you want. And this part is really cool. This is the flip tool. Any of these money pieces you can flip to see the other side. And then if you put the grids back on, we got again this rotate tool that we saw in the fractions app. You can just rotate them around so that they can fit into each other different ways. All right, well that's about it for today. I hope you enjoyed just this quick sneak peek into these apps, and thanks for watching. All right, bye.